Hello everybody, welcome to the airBaltic Pilot Academy Open Day. My name is José Antonio Raga and I'm the head of training at the airBaltic Pilot Academy. Today I will be your guide throughout this online event where you will learn all the essential information about airBaltic and the program that we offer. Let's start with some numbers about the airBaltic family. We are 2,762 employees, including 467 pilots, of whom 234 are captains and 233 first officers. And I'm very proud to say that 142 are pilot graduates already. It typically takes 5 years to become a captain since you start working with us as first officer, and from the very beginning you will be immersed in a very multicultural environment because we are 35 nationalities. airBaltic operates a fleet of 49 Airbus 220-300, which is the most modern and green fleet in Europe. And as you can see in the slide, the plan to grow up to 100 airplanes by 2029 is forecasted. Now let's move to some insights about the Pilot Academy itself. We are offering an integrated ATPL course within 24 months. And we are operating a 10 airplane or 10 aircraft fleet, 10 Diamond aircraft fleet, 9 single engines DA40NG and 1 DA42NG multi-engine, as well as a FMPT2 type simulator, which is replicating both airplanes. We have a team of 25 instructors in average. 12 of them are full-time instructors, including myself, and the rest are part-time instructors because are also working in the airline. This is a plus that we have because the students can understand and learn from first hand, from the very beginning, the insights of a daily routine of an airline pilot, and it's an extra motivation for them during the training. To top it all off, at the end of your training, and if you pass successfully the assessment for airBaltic, there is a job offer that you will not straight away enter in the company for flights. You will need to undergo some training, like the type rating related to the Airbus 220, before starting your job. Let's focus now on some minimum requirements that you need to apply for the cadet program: to be at least 18 years old, to hold an European or economical European area, or a Swiss passport, high school graduate degree, certificate, health medical class 1, to meet the requirements of the health medical class 1, excellent written and spoken English knowledge. The better your English is, the easier it will be for you to understand all the training, or all the theoretical training, no criminal record, and ability to swim. As well, I would like to talk to you about some factors that will help you to increase the chances to succeed in this assessment, as high-level grades in math, physics, and English, interest and experience in aviation, for example, those who already hold a glider or private pilot license, or just basically have fun flying flight simulators, will have a plus understanding what is behind the training program. Good cognitive abilities that basically are all related to how fast you can learn or process the information, the memory, and solve problems. Healthy and active lifestyle that is highly recommended because it enhances the fitness in your bodies that later on will help you to stand for long day duties when you are flying. And positive personality traits, basically empathy, resilience, and also honesty are essential, that are defined in our character and how well we interact with other people. Now that we understand the factors and the requirements, let's take a look to the selection process itself. Depending on your personal situation, there are two options. You may bid for the airBaltic loan program or the self-funded program. The first step is common to both of them, is the consolidation of applications. And this is basically when you send your CV, there is a screening from the HR department, and if it's selected, then you will be called for the second step, that is an English and math and physics test that is online. if you succeed this step, the next one is when there is a bit different line between the loan program and the self-funded. If you go for the loan program, there is a general mental abilities test that somehow is done at the same time that you do the English, math, and physics, and later on will be cross-checked in the fourth step, that is the psychological assessment with the psychologist. And then the final step is common again for both programs, is the final interview. And this is basically the management will know who is coming to the company, and it's just basically to discuss about your life so far and your CV and determine if you are fitable for the company or not. Now we can see how much does it cost. That this is the key question. The course is 89,000 euros, and as you can see, there are two lines depending on your situation. The first self-installment program and the self-funded program have the same installment price, 25,000, and it lasts for 12 months. This installment is covering the ATPL theory and 45 flight hours, pretty much. And then from that moment on is when the difference you can see in the screen that there is a line for the loan program, is when you will go through this assessment of performance to see if you get the loan, and then the company pays you this 64,000 euros. That is also for the other 12 months. If you are self-funded, then there is a breakdown in the payments that every 4 months you need to pay, as it's stated in the screen. This this price is covering the rest of your training, the practical training, as you can see, the UPRT course, the instrumental rating with multi-engine rating, the CPL, and the MCC. Well, in this self-funded option, just to see more in detail, both options, the self-funded and the loan, are covered these expenses for the CAA exams, the initial first-class medical, and one renewal. The study materials and the equipment that you need, and the uniform for being a cadet in the academy is covered by the school. There is no obligation to stay with us once you finish your studies. This means that if you self-fund yourself, when you finish and you get the license, you are free to go wherever you want to. The selection process in your case, as you have seen before, it consists of 3 steps. Then the successful graduates can undergo a selection process at airBaltic if interested. That means that you can also work in different departments in airBaltic while you are finishing your training practice or flight training. airBaltic Pilot Academy's graduates have priority over other candidates. That means that we are giving priority to all the candidates that successfully finish the training with us and pass the assessment with the company to start a position as first officers. The airBaltic loan program, the performance review will take place after successfully passing the ATPL theory exams, as we have seen before. And then from that moment on, you will go on with the practical flying phase, working and flying pretty much 50-50. 2 weeks flying or finishing your training with the academy, 50% of 2 weeks working in the position that you have chosen or you have been selected for in airBaltic. The position will be selected or decided based on your previous experience. For example, if you have already experience as a flight attendant, probably you will be working as a flight attendant and finishing at the same time your training in the academy. And the loan repayment starts after the initial line check as a first officer. Those are the starting dates for the next year. As you can see, we take 4 groups. We used to limit the number of members of every group up to 16, and as you can see, those are the dates that you can plan to apply for. Let's see now a little bit more in detail what the training program itself is about. I mean, we combine theoretical training and practical training as well, and pretty much is 1,000 hours total training between the practice and the theory. And on top of this time is all the time that you may dedicate to study at home and refresh and keep practicing to maintain the skills that you are looking for. This study program is for 24 months, and as you can see, we have a classroom, and theoretical training is divided in the classroom instructor studies and computer-based training or self-study. It means that you basically go by yourself through the lessons where you see all the topics that later on you will discuss in the classroom with the instructor. Later on, integrated with this theoretical training, you have also this practical training that consists of being proficiency to operate single-engine airplanes, piston airplanes, multi-engine piston airplanes, and the training that you undergo through in the FMPT2 in the simulator is to train for the instrumental rating qualification. After all of this, there will be two more phases of training, practical. One is the UPRT, that is the upset prevention recovery training, that is the most fancy training in the course. And the last one is the MCC course, that is the one that is allowing you to go on for the top rating in the Airbus 220. This is, you can see the basis where we are operating from. The main one, or where we have the headquarters, is Raga. In here, all the theoretical training and the simulator training takes place, and later on the flight training takes place in Liepaja and Ventspils. You can see in this slide the number of airplanes that we have nowadays, that is 10 by 2024, and the plan to get at the end 15, that will be 13 single engines and 2 multi-engines by 2029. In this one, you can see the airline pilot demand. It's according to the number of airplanes that we saw in the initial plan, that it's every airplane requires 10 pilots minimum to be operated. And in the slide to the right side, you can see how many cadets the school will be able to supply to the company by 2029. I think this is one of the most important information that you would like to know, and this is the average income salary. As you can see, there are different levels. You will start as first officer level 0 the first year, and in that year you will move to the first officer level 1, and so on like this up to becoming captain level 3, pretty much after 9 years in the company. The price or the numbers that you can see in the blue is the gross salary, and the green is the net one. Well, additional benefits for flight crew. This is information that also you would like to know, because being employees in airBaltic, we have some benefits like unlimited home leave tickets. Basically, all those who are not from Latvia are allowed to come back home whenever you have free time or you need to. And if you are flying to your home, you can use these home leave tickets that are at a very competitive price. And as well as the ID leisure travel tickets. The difference between them is the home leave is only to go back home and then come back to work, and the ID leisure travel allows you to go anywhere you want to. Always these tickets are subject to availability space in the airplanes. Paid vacations of 20 days per year, and all the trainings that you need, validation of your licenses, medical, visas costs are covered by the company. Also, we have a loss of license insurance. We mentioned before that you need to meet the requirements for a Class 1 medical certificate. So in case you lose it while you are already operating or working as a pilot in airBaltic, there is this insurance that will pay you 100,000 euros as a compensation. As well, the company is providing you with a health insurance that has 3 levels: basic, intermediate, and full coverage, and accident insurance 24/7. In here you can see where all the students are applying to the pilot academy. So as students, you can see that you will be as well immersed in a multicultural environment since day one. If you want to know or see some more insights of the academy, you can follow us in all our media, where the students and the pilots are posting videos and photos of the daily routine, job, the training, and you can get a better understanding about the training itself. And so far the presentation. If we are going to make now a small break where you can prepare your questions and you can send them through this link, and we will see each other shortly after this break. Welcome back. Let's start now with your questions. How many people pass the assessment and get the loan? Well, we are not managing precisely statistics, but I would say that 99% of people is getting the loan and going on with the studies with us. Is there any particular reason for why the initial payment went from 15,000 to 25,000? Yes, the increase of the costs of everything forced us to increase the price to 25,000 to make this course sustainable for the academy. Why? But it's the same. I think it's the same question. I don't know if it will go to, why is 25,000 euros for loan program? Will it go to 15,000 again? Well, pretty much it's the same question than before, but I don't know if it will go down again to 15,000. I don't think so. Are the financial issues of airBaltic affecting the future of the academy in case of the IPO? Well, you can forward this question through our website and we'll answer you this as soon as possible because I don't have any information about that. airBaltic Airbus 321 XLR, is this real? Well, so far I don't have any information about this. The only thing that I can tell you is we have bought the second Airbus 220-300 simulator, so I don't know if this will be real or not. But again, you can forward this question through our website and we will give you the information as soon as possible. Until when the loan program will be available? For now, there is no any ending time for it, so it's in force permanently for now. Hi, it's really fact that you can only apply 3 times for the Pilot Academy and after that you never can apply again? If so, why is that like that? Yes, it's right, you can apply only 3 times and then you cannot apply any more. And I think the reason is because all the companies around the world are looking for a personal profile, or where when you go for the psychologist, always the psychologist is trying to assess you in these personal traits that we discussed before. And if you are not fitting what airBaltic is looking for, you are not going to fit it in the future. Maybe you can fail the first time because you are nervous or you are not well prepared, but if it's a question that is your personality is not matching with what we are looking for, there's no way to apply again. Where is flight training conducted? Will I do some training in Liepaja and some in Ventspils? Yes, the theoretical training and the simulator training takes place in Riga, and then the practical training will be in Liepaja and Ventspils. At the beginning, we are using Ventspils for the stage 1 and 2. That is the training. The phase 1 is the training up to the first solo flight, when you fly for the first time alone in the airplane. And the second phase is the training up to the first solo cross country. That is the first time that you fly alone in the airplane to somewhere else, to another airport. So that training will take place in Ventspils and later on in Liepaja. You will finish the remaining of the VFR part plus all the instrument training in the airplane. How recruiting experienced first officers and fast command captains affecting our time needed to become captains? I don't have data to answer this because aviation is changing super fast, and since you start the training in academy after 2 years, we cannot tell you something precisely. What we have in mind is it will take you approximately 7 years to become captain with airBaltic, taking into account the 2 years during the training in the pilot academy, plus the 5 years pretty much that you will be under first officer duties. How KSA module knowledge, skills and attitude is conducted during ATPL, and what does it include? Well, KSA module, this is a technical question. KSA module is implemented at the end of every single phase, and this is not something that you need to go to CAA. It's assessed in the academy, and basically we are assessing your general knowledge, your skills and attitude, how you interact with all of this, basically how good is your airmanship. If I apply end of January, will I be able to join for the March group? Probably yes. It depends on how long the selection process takes. That pretty much is 1 month. Which pilot tests platform you recommend as the best to prepare for pilot assessment? There are a lot of different methodologies. Well, to be honest, you can use whatever you want. If you find different methodologies, you can take one from each one, and like this you will be better prepared for the assessment. But I became pilot pretty much 25 years ago, so I didn't use anything that actually nowadays we have. Is it possible to get a PPL license from airBaltic? Yes and no. I will explain the situation. If you join us for an ATP program, you will end up with the CPL Multi-NIR and the ATPL Frozen Theory certificate. While you are in this training program, you cannot get the PPL license because it's not the intention of this program. But if for some reason, once you have passed all the ATPL subjects, you cannot go on with the studies, you can apply for a lower license, in this case the PPL, and then you can request, if you meet the requirements for the PPL skill test license, you can request it to CAA, and then you will get your PPL. Are there still places left in January group? Yes, we have still vacancies. Do the cadets operate with SOPs similar to those of the airline, or just how the instructors want? Well, we have all designed following the policy of airBaltic since the very beginning. We have our SOPs as similar as possible to the company. You need to take into account that the airplane that we are operating is nothing to do with the modern jet planes, except that they are equipped with a glass cockpit, and that is making a smoother transition between the training airplanes and the company airplane. But there will be things that we don't do in the similar way, but always the instructors are following the SOPs that we are developing for the instruction. I guess that the salaries plan to increase is about the company. I don't have any data about this, so you can forward this question as well through our website. If I apply to the academy for a second time, will it affect the first stages of the assessment, such as document screening? I think, if I don't remember wrong, that you need to apply from zero, everything again, and then you will try all the steps one more time. Will it get harder to get for the class example in second or third apply time compared to the first time? Do you need to always get better scores? No. I think we have the policy that you try, you fail, you can try again after 1 year, and you start from zero. The only thing that is ticking or counting is the number of attempts that you have done. Why don't I receive the explanation reason for not passing the stages of assessment when I get the email informing me of the outcome? Well, this is a hard question to answer, but basically it's because you need to work by yourself. I mean, you need to assess yourself, reflect yourself, and think about what could go wrong, and prepare for the next time. If we tell you what you did wrong, you will pass the next time, and maybe you can fake the assessment. what groups are available for 2025? Well, as we saw before, there are 4 groups for the next year. What does it mean, a standby pool? Well, the standby pool means that we receive more applications than our capacity, we could say, because we have limited the number of people per group to 16. And if those CVs and motivation letters are fitting us, we keep them in standby to call them for the next groups. Which type of exam I need to pass to get into your flight school? Is it hard? Is it enough English level B1 or B2? How good I need to know math and physics? Well, math and physics, it's at the level of high school. English with B1 or B2 is more than enough, but as we said before, the higher your knowledge on these areas, the easier will be for you to go through the assessment. And regarding the first question, the type, well, is just basically is mental math calculations, logical thinking, memory stuff in this second step, that is the online assessment. How many applications are there approximately in each application? How many applicants are there approximately in each application? Well, I guess that it means how many people applies for every group. To be honest, we don't have precise statistics about that, but we could say that in 1 month we can receive more than 100 applications. Do you have advices what to improve if you fail in psychological tests, assessments on the spot? I think I answered already this. There are not advices. You need to be yourself. Does airBaltic provide any assistance with accommodation? We provide some assistance looking for, helping you to look for something, but we are not paying the accommodation. And we are also dealing with some student residencies that are called dorms here in Latvia, where you can find a room to be while you are living in Liepāja or Ventspils, and are quite affordable price. Where assessment tests are conducted and are they free? Yes, the assessments for the airBaltic Pilot Academy are free, and the screening is online, and the first test, the mental math, physics, and English is also online. And later on, you have to be on site for the psychologist and the final interview. If I don't take a loan, do I have better chances getting a spot? No, all the students are treated in the same way. What is true is if you don't get a loan, you will be more available to fly, and sometimes there are some cancellations due to the student's sickness. And if you are ready always 100% for us, maybe you can take the chance to fly on those spots and maybe fly faster than others. How many people are invited in Riga for the last tests and interviews? I don't have right now this data. You can forward this question through the website as well. Should we pay more to take our pilot license valid, or 15,000 euros and the loan program covers it? I don't understand this question precisely. Should we pay more to make our pilot license valid? Well, I can tell you that the 15,000 euros or the 25,000 euros in the first installment is covering all the theory and up to 45 hours, just in case you cannot go on with the studies and you want to obtain the PPL license. But in any case, the skill test is covered, so there will be some extra expenses. And also, if you needed extra training during the first stages of your training, maybe you need to fly a little bit more than 45 to comply with all the requirements to apply for a skill test for the pilot, for the private pilot license. Where we can check and train for math and physics tests to prepare for the exam? I think you can find whatever through internet, and if you type it, you can find some examples and you can practice by yourself at home. When is going to be the next recruitment for airBaltic Pilot Academy?
It's ongoing all the time.
it's ongoing all the time. You can send your application anytime that you feel ready and you meet the requirements that we saw during the presentation. Can you name the most common applicant and success reasons? Well, since we are not providing the feedback, if you fail in the psychologist, I can tell you only that there are a lot of people who face the first stage, that is the English and the math and physics, and there are less people failing the psychologist. Can I choose where to fly during flight training? Not exactly. You cannot choose where to fly because due to our operation, as I said before, we are sending our VFR training in the stage 1 and 2 to Ventspils, and later on is phase 3 training and phase 4 in Liepāja. But could be the case that we could assess the personal situation and decide if we can change if somebody requests to fly from somewhere. For example, if you are Latvian and you are living in Ventspils, maybe you can living in Liepāja, maybe you can request to fly from the beginning in Liepāja because of this situation, but we will assess particularly every case. How many hours per month do pilots in airBaltic work during winter, summer season? I can tell you what we do in the Pilot Academy because I'm not in the airline. I'm fully dedicated in the Pilot Academy. And in winter season, basically, we are in standby, waiting for good weather to fly. So pretty much we can fly 100 hours in total, all the instructors, per month. Can you repeat once again, please, which groups are available for 2025? January, March, September, and November. During the final interview, I had a feeling that none of the representatives had read my CV or letter of motivation because I was asked questions based off those. Well, I can understand that feeling, but you need to know that this is because basically what the management interview is about is to cross-check that you didn't lie on your CV and you remember what you have done, because the worst thing that you could do is to cheat on your CV, to pretend to be somebody who you are not, and later on when somebody asks you something from your CV, you don't know how to answer or you give a different information. Is it possible that your personality is suitable but you fail some other tests in the psychologist test? Yes, it could be. I cannot tell you anything else. Well, looks like there's no more questions, so it's been a pleasure to be with you today. I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I did, and see you next time.